Hey y'all, Chantel here. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining today. If you like what you see, please do well to subscribe. Alrighty. Signs that you are dating a boy and not a man, from my point of view. Point of view that nobody asked for. If that is something you want to hear about, then keep on watching. So before I delve into the video proper, I first want to give a disclaimer that if some of the things I'm going to say in this video are synonymous with the person you're with right now, but you don't have a problem with it, it's your preference, you're happy, everything is going smoothly, then please discard it. I'm cheering you on from here. All the best. I'm happy for you. As long as you're happy, that's what matters. Okay. Secondly, if you realize some of the things I said is synonymous with someone you're with, right? And you think that it's a problem, but the first thing that comes to your mind is to kick the person to the curb, I would advise you slow down, because sometimes in life, all we need is just a push. So if this person is really important to you, then you can actually give him that needed push and get better results. Thirdly, being a man or a boy is not age dependent. You can be a 50-year-old man and still be acting like a boy. You can be a 25-year-old boy, or young man rather, and be acting like a very mature man. That being said, this video is for the ladies, but the dudes, please pay attention. Share to your husbands, to your friends, to your brothers, to your boyfriends. They will have one or two things to learn from this video. I'm also open to doing a female version, so if that is something you like to see, let me know in the comment section, okay? The first point is he plays games. A boy plays games, and I'm not talking about video games here. I'm talking about the type of games where he's messing with your mind. Basically, he hasn't learned the difference between dating and being in a grown-ass relationship. They are two different things. A man is a straight shooter, while a boy is just straight shady. If that guy continuously confuses you, he seems flaky, and it's just hard for you to tell where you stand half the time, then it's very likely that that guy is a boy and he's not worth your time. A boy thinks that the person who cares the least in the relationship holds the most power. I don't know why that is. I don't know where that school of thought came from. They don't want to give their all in the relationship. They're like, oh, if I show her that I don't love her as much, then she'll be giving me more of the love because she knows that I can do without her. On the other hand, a man doesn't care about who holds on to what power. All he cares about is being in love and being in a happy and healthy relationship. The second point to differentiate a boy from a man is that a boy only cares about himself. He has zero interest in your hopes and dreams unless they revolve around him. He only cares that his needs are being met. But with a man, that's totally different, because an actual adult would have already figured out the fact that the universe does not revolve around them. The third point, which is very, very important, is that he still lives with his parents. I know that when we're in love like this, we like to make excuses for the people that we're in love with. Say, for instance, you're dating a guy that still lives with his parents. You're like, oh, he's saving money to move out and all of that stuff. But how can you have a grown-up adult relationship with someone who is yet to leave the nest? Answer. The fourth point is that he expects you to be his mom or his maid. He expects you to do the cleaning, the laundry, the cooking, take care of him like a king that he is. You're pretty wrapped up in that territory. You're just like his mother. The only difference is that you have a romantic relationship with him. With the man, he would rather employ people to do all that for you, or whenever you feel the need to do it, you do it voluntarily. The fifth point is that a boy doesn't stand up for you. If the guy you're with doesn't have your back when you get into a confrontation, even though he doesn't agree with you at the moment, but once you're in public, he doesn't have your back, then it's something worth looking into, because he either doesn't give a shit about you or he's just a coward. Either way, he's not a man, because a real man will stand by his lady regardless of the situation. And when you guys get behind closed doors, he now reprimands you for that thing that you did. But in the public eye, he stood by you, and both of you were a united front. Sixth on my list is he is passive aggressive. A man that does not let you know what you did to him, what you did to offend him, but instead he's frustrating you in the relationship, giving you attitude. He just shuts down and finds ways to make life difficult for you. As far as I'm concerned, that is a boy. Because it takes a mature man to be in tune with his emotions, to be clear and direct with whatever he's feeling, and deal with them by having a very adult conversation. The 7th point is that a boy worries too much about what others think about him. A man doesn't care about what anyone thinks about him as long as he believes in what he's doing. Confidence, not arrogance, comes with maturity. And like I mentioned, being a boy or a man is not age dependent. The 8th point is he refuses to compromise. A boy refuses to compromise in any sphere of the relationship. This guy has an unrealistic and outdated idea of what he feels or what it means to be a man. He thinks that unless everything is done in his terms, right, he will be perceived as being a weak man. His word is yea and amen, and anybody that disputes that is automatically an enemy. But that's not the case with a man, because grown-ups know that life itself is full of compromises. The 9th point on my list, which is very, very important, is the fact that a boy constantly tests you. I don't know why that is. I don't know why people do that, but it's so lame. It's a very annoying and very immature thing that some guys do. Instead of just telling you outrightly what he wants and expects from the relationship, he puts you in a position where, for instance, he uses another guy to test you, to know whether you are true to him or if he can trust you. He contrives situations to try and find out for himself whether you are true to him. And these tests are always stacked in his favor. And most times, ladies fail these tests without even knowing they were being tested in the first place. I don't think that should be done, because with a man, he tells you what he expects from the relationship and he trusts you enough. He makes that conscious decision to trust you that you would live up to that. Or if it's not working out, everybody goes their separate ways. I don't know why some guys infuse so much energy in things like that. I come across things like that on social media and I'm like, why? For me, it has never made sense. Unless somebody wants to explain it to me, but it really doesn't make any sense in my books. The 10th point is that a boy is not willing to get his hands dirty. You know the saying that a man's got to do what a man's got to do, but a boy doesn't want to do that. A boy wants to be sitting pretty and living life based on vibes and inshallah. So if the guy you're with right now won't break any eggs, my baby, you're not going to get an omelette out of him. If he throws in the towel every time he meets a little bit of resistance, then girl, you really need to talk to him about it. Because one thing I've come to realize is the older we get, the more things are harder in life. It's just a given. So it's best to just confront the situation head on and move on. But a boy doesn't like that. The 12th point is that a boy always wants to win arguments. A lot of guys are sitting on this table. A boy will get wrapped up in his own ego, forcefully trying to prove his point and be right, while a man will much rather be in love than be right. A man understands that being right all the time is not worth it, but rather trying to find a common ground and mutual understanding is how you walk through your disagreements and also get closer as a couple. The 13th point is a boy is constantly threatened or intimidated by your success. A strong man will support you and push you in the direction of your dreams and aspirations, but that's not the case with a boy. You'll be intimidated by your drive to succeed. The big difference here is that men are more secure in themselves because they are doing the exact same thing, or they have already done that thing and they know how much work it took to get to the point where they are or where they are getting to. But boys are always intimidated by successful women because they are not there yet, or they do not envisage themselves in that light anytime soon. You become a daily reminder of everything they are not. This is also something that shows a lot about a man's character. Does he always feel the need to lead with his ego and compete with you? That's a red flag. Redder than red flag. Or will he allow you to have the starring role, stand back and clap for your success? That's a man, in my opinion, in my books. The 14th point on my list is that a boy doesn't want you to have your own freedom. He doesn't want you to have your own space. He feels intimidated. He feels like you're going to leave him. He feels insecure, basically. He gets really uncomfortable and reactive whenever you plan a girl's night out or even a girl's trip, without realizing the fact that he also needs space for himself. That's not the case with a man. A man needs space, and he knows that space is really, really important to have a healthy relationship. Nobody wants anybody choking them. Anywhere you look, you're with that person. Sometimes you give each other space and go and refill, then come back being a better version of yourself. A boy can see this space as threatening, thus making him insecure and jealous when his girlfriend wants to maintain some sort of freedom and independence in the relationship. The 15th and final point is that a boy is not constantly looking for ways to improve on himself. This is a very important point because personal growth and development is vital, and it's a big telling point in a guy's maturity. So is your guy just waiting around and not looking to improve his life, his career, his business? That's not a good thing. And the sad part about it is that you can't change people. People only change because they want to change. You can push them in the right direction, but they only do that if they feel they need to. For a man, that's not the case because he's constantly looking for ways to improve himself, and he knows that he's not doing that for anybody else but himself. So there's no stopping point. He keeps pushing, and even when he gets to the point where he was anticipating, he wants to go further and further and further and further, which is something that is really, really admirable. So that's it, guys. Those are my 15 short points to tell if you're dating a boy or a man. Do the maths and tell yourself the truth. If you have any more points that you'd like to add, there are a whole lot of other things I would have added in this video, but I just had to keep it short and sweet. Just give you all the ones I feel are the most important. So if there are any more points you want to add, the comment section is open for all. Just leave them there, and I'm sure one or two people, myself included, will want to learn something new. Thank you all so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Share this video because I know that a lot of people need this class. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye y'all.